In the last episode, I told you how the Jamaican National Treasure called me. So I unblocked him. My boyfriend met my dad, and he was proving himself. He was still like we just got right back into it. So, but what ended up happening is between the time I went back home, I didn't see him again until December. So that was like February until December, and the communication just dissolved, and I was pretty much done. I told you he left in December, right? So in January, he called me on his birthday, wanted me to tell him happy birthday. Okay, fine, whatever, happy birthday. He proceeds to tell me that he's coming to the US, and I'm like, okay, that's nice, good for you. And then he says that he wants us to try again. He says nothing's for him in Jamaica. He's coming to the United States to stay, regardless of what. This is what he's telling me. He says that he's going to come up, work, get an apartment, get a vehicle, and court me properly to see if, we can be a thing. So I was like, okay, that sounds good and everything, but we'll see how it goes. I'm not promising you anything, but we could see how it goes. So he came up. I think he came up in like April and went to stay with his aunt, who quickly told him, maybe after a night or two, told him, um, yeah, if you don't have no money, you can't stay here. So he called me and he told me that she said that. And I was like, okay. So I didn't, I didn't play rescue or anything, but I was just like, that's weird. Why did you guys not talk about this before? Like, how are you in this situation again? Anyway, I made it clear that he can't stay with me, things like that. Then he sent me a picture of him on her balcony, like wrapped up in a blanket. Like, that's where he's sleeping. So I felt bad. And I told him, you know what, you can stay. Because the truth is about this guy, he's very ambitious. He's a workaholic. He's a beast. He's a horse. When it comes to work, he's not a lay down type of guy. So I figured, okay, as long as he's working, it'll be fine. He could come stay with my crib or whatever. And it is what it is, right? I made that decision. Wasn't the best decision, I guess. But it is what it is. Like I said, he's not like a bum. He doesn't just lay around and eat snacks and watch TV. He's not like that at all. So I was like, okay, you could come stay with me. He was traveling, he was working, he was, like I said, very ambitious. So I figured if I helped him, everything would be everything, right? So he came to stay with me. He already had a job. He already had himself sorted. He had, as far as like a crew of guys to work with, he was doing that for a while. But whenever he would work, because people knew his situation, they weren't paying him. And that I also felt like that was messed up. Not because somebody's paperwork not straight, you promise them you're gonna pay them a certain amount and then you end up not paying them. Like, come on. Like, I didn't like that either. So that happened to him a few times. Like, it kept happening, kept happening. People would say, oh, we're gonna do this job, and he would go do the job. Excellent job. This man could do anything. This man could build a house. I seen him build a house from top to bottom. This man, I'm telling you, I thought he was a good one. He was a good one. I'm not gonna say he wasn't a good one. He was a good one. At that point, we were kind of tired, and I was tired of it too, because I'm like, okay, if you're gonna be here, you're gonna have to help me. It's not like you could just be here. And the truth is, whatever money he had, he would give me. He would give me money. He was very free-handed, very kind. He even told me one time, whatever woman he ends up with, he prays that she loves him for real, because if not, he's going to end up a pauper, because he just gives freely, and he does. I have to say that about him. Anyway, I got tired of people jerking him around and not paying him and stuff like that, so we decided, let's get married, right? Sort you out so everything is everything. Plus, my thing, I looked at it like, listen, you could date a guy and swear he's not using you, or swear he whatever. You could swear whatever. You just never know what's gonna happen in a relationship. You just never know. So I took it for what it was, and I always said, you know what? If this doesn't work out, it is what it is. He helped me, I helped him, fair exchange in a robbery, right? So this was my mindset. This is how I'm looking at things. So what happened? Oh, so he came. I mean, we decided to get married. That's where we were. But I told him two things. You have to actually propose, and I'm not paying for anything. Paperwork, attorney. I'm not paying for anything. He said, okay. He agreed. So he went out of town and came back, and he proposed in my bedroom on his knee with a ring. And I was shocked. I was shocked. The ring wasn't all of that, but it wasn't about that. But it was about that, because I did end up telling him, okay, I need a better ring. The proposal was nice and it was cute and everything, and I felt special. That was nice, but I want a bigger ring, whatever. So he was like, yeah, he agreed to that too. He agreed as well. He just didn't have the funds at the time. So what he ended up doing was selling his vehicle in Jamaica, and then they lodged the funds into, because he and I had a joint account. We've been had a joint account because um, we always said that if we did go down this path, it'll be good for him to already have a joint account with me. And plus, whatever, I just added him to the account. I had several accounts. I added him to one. Sold a vehicle in Jamaica. They lodged the funds in our account. We went to Macy's and bought another ring, a better ring, cuter ring.
So this is the big stone, and the smaller stones. Sometimes it's when it's close today. Let's go over this side. Oh, come on.
We got married. It wasn't a big thing. It was at a park in Davie, nice and cute. Family were there, friends were there. Yeah, it was nice. It was a nice wedding. Marriage was cool. He cooked. He made porridge. He made all the things. He got to know quickly all the things I like. He would make steamed fish, crackers. He would not put okra because he knows that I don't like that. Or he would make his separate with the okra. Like, he was very, attentive. He was being a husband. I was like, okay, married life is cool. We got married in August. We filed for his green card in October, and he received his green card in July. And at that point, he was feeling like nobody can't play with him now about his money. And I felt that too. I felt like he was very protected. He was safe now, right? The lesson: sometimes you don't make the wrong decision because you don't know better. Sometimes you just want to believe better, right?